Reth and Kael survey the vast savanna, their faces thoughtful under the morning sun. The landscape is harsh, with patches of withered grass and a nearly dry stream. Kael inspects their dwindling supply of roots and berries.
We are running out of
his
food.
expression worried. Reth crushes a dry leaf, pointing to the gathering storm clouds on the horizon.
This
A
wind
strong wind rattles the
is
shelters
strong.
as a hunter looks to Reth for guidance. Reth and Kael share a look of understanding. A difficult decision has been made. Reth rises, signaling to the hunters. It is time to prepare for the great hunt. The hunters quickly gather their weapons, the air tense with purpose and determination. Using a birch stick,
We lead them here.
Reth sketches a simple
to the
map
cliff's
of a cliff
edge.
and a narrow path. Kael uses small stones to demonstrate the strategy. Drive the herd into a natural trap. Kael demonstrates a powerful and precise spear thrust, emphasizing core strength. A young hunter awkwardly mimics the move. Kael gently corrects his posture. The hunters practice moving as one, forming a line to drive an imaginary beast. Two hunters coordinate their movements, one blocking while the other feigns an attack. Kael observes their practice, nodding in satisfaction at their growing teamwork. Another group gathers piles of dry branches, leaves, and grass for the hunt. A hunter carefully strikes two flint stones together, creating a spark. The spark catches in the tinder, growing into a small, precious flame. Reth leads the hunters across the plains, heading toward the designated cliff face. Along the narrow path, the hunters dig shallow pits, concealing them with care. A hunter expertly covers a pitfall with branches and leaves, making it invisible. Reth tests the strength of the camouflage with his foot, nodding in approval. From a low hill, Kael shields his eyes and scans the vast, open horizon. He suddenly freezes, his arm outstretched, pointing toward a distant movement. A massive herd of ancient bison grazes peacefully, unaware of the approaching danger. Reth and Kael exchange a determined nod. They have found their target. A team of hunters hides behind a large bush, waiting for Kael's signal. Kael raises his hand, signaling the hunters to begin forming a wide circle. The hunters move with stealth, using the tall grass as cover to approach the herd. Reth signals to the fire team, who are positioned strategically and ready to act. With a low grunt, Kael gives the order to create a disturbance. The hunters erupt in shouts, banging their stone axes and throwing small rocks. Startled, the bison lift their heads, their eyes wide with panic. The hunters slowly advance, their wall of noise guiding the herd toward the narrow path. A large bison tries to break away, but is turned back by hunters with loud shouts. The herd begins to stampede, dust billowing as they are funneled into the trap. The fire team gets the signal and quickly ignites the piles of dry brush. A wall of smoke and fire erupts, preventing the herd from changing direction. Terrified by the flames, the bison have no choice but to charge forward. The ground trembles with the thunder of hooves as the herd stampedes down the path. Suddenly, a large bison bellows in pain as its leg plunges into a hidden pitfall. Another falls into a trap, struggling desperately but unable to escape. The hunters descend upon the trapped animals with their long spears, swift and efficient. Kael leads the charge, leaping from a rock to deliver a powerful spear thrust. From his high vantage point, Reth directs the final attack with decisive gestures. Two hunters work together, one striking a leg while the other targets the flank. The battle is swift and coordinated, the hunters moving with practiced skill. Covered in mud and blood, Kael lets out a victorious roar as the last bison falls. The hunters gather, exhausted, but their faces beaming with pride and satisfaction. Reth descends from the mound, his eyes meeting each hunter's with a nod of approval. The rest of the tribe, including the women, arrive at the scene, their faces joyous. With sharp stone tools, the women immediately begin the work of butchering the carcasses. A woman skillfully carves a large piece of meat from a fallen bison. The hunters use vines and hides to prepare the massive cuts of meat for transport. Many tribe members work together, their unity clear as they haul the meat back to camp.
For our survival.
Kael and a group of younger hunters carry smaller portions on their shoulders. Reth walks at the rear, taking one last look at the successful hunting ground. Back at camp, the scent of roasting meat fills the air around a large fire. The best cut of meat sizzles over the hot coals, its fat dripping into the flames. The tribe gathers in celebration, their joyous cheers and laughter echoing through the camp. Reth sits near the fire, watching his people eat with a look of deep contentment. Kael nods to Reth, a rare smile of profound satisfaction on his face. Reth gestures from the meat to the young hunters, signaling a lesson is to come. Kael gathers the young hunters, using a stick to redraw the hunt's strategy in the dirt. Reth points to each position on the map, emphasizing the importance of teamwork.
As one.
Reth reenacts one of Kael's key signals, showing the need to follow commands. A young hunter nods eagerly, his eyes bright with understanding. Kael places a hand on a young hunter's shoulder, offering a rare smile of encouragement. Reth looks around at his tribe, his expression filled with deep pride in their unity. Reth's sharp eyes seem warmer than usual, reflecting his pride and relief. The women of the tribe bring offerings of wild fruits and dried herbs to a large, flat rock. Reth carefully places the best piece of meat on the high rock, facing the setting sun. Kael and the hunters place their spears in a circle around the offering stone. A woman sprinkles dried petals and herbs over the meat as a sign of respect. The entire tribe bows their heads in a moment of silent gratitude to nature. The golden light of sunset illuminates the tribe's somber, thankful faces. Reth stands silently, his gaze fixed on the setting sun, a symbol of hope for the future. Kael stands beside Reth, his face showing clear trust in his leader. The camera pans across the faces of the women, their eyes filled with peace and hope. The young hunters watch their leaders with expressions of deep respect. A gentle breeze blows through the camp, carrying the scent of the savannah. Reth turns to his tribe and offers a faint, reassuring smile. They smile in return. The hunters begin to gather their tools, preparing to rest after a long day. A woman carefully packs away her butchering tools, her expression content. Young hunters laugh together as they help carry the last of the meat. Reth and Kael walk back to camp shoulder to shoulder, a silent understanding between them. The first light of the moon appears, illuminating their path back to the glowing campfires. The tribe returns to the warm, welcoming light of the campfires. Reth sits by the fire, his gaze thoughtful but more at ease as he stares at the flames. Kael sharpens his spearhead with a grinding stone, a rhythmic sound filling the night. The young hunters excitedly recount the day's hunt with gestures and grunts. A woman hangs large strips of meat to dry, preparing for long-term storage. Smoke from the fire rises into the starry night sky, a picture of tranquility. Reth closes his eyes for a moment, savoring a rare moment of peace. A carefully stitched animal hide shows the tribe's preparations for the coming winter. A woman checks on a bundle of thoroughly dried roots, ensuring their preservation. Kael pauses his work, looking from Reth to the young, energetic hunters. Reth opens his eyes and meets Kael's gaze with a slight nod of silent communication. A cold wind blows through the camp, and Reth pulls his fur cloak tighter. Reth stands and walks to the edge of the camp, scanning the darkness for any threats. A lone sentry stands guard, his eyes alert and fixed on the shadows. Reth places a hand on the sentry's shoulder, giving a nod of encouragement. He looks back at his resting tribe, a powerful sense of duty on his face. Kael joins Reth, and together they stand watch over their sleeping people. The firelight casts long, resilient shadows at the two leaders against the night. The camera pans across the peaceful camp as the tribe sleeps soundly. Spears stand guard around the camp, ready for any potential danger. Reth and Kael share another look. They know this is but one victory in a long struggle. Reth touches a boar's tusk on his cloak, his gaze distant and thoughtful. Kael tightens his grip on his spear, his resolve unwavering. The first rays of dawn appear, painting the horizon a deep red. Like statues, Reth and Kael have stood watch through the night, protecting the tribe. The camera pulls back, showing the two leaders watching over their camp at dawn. The song of an early bird breaks the morning silence. Reth takes a deep breath, inhaling the crisp morning air. Kael turns to Reth and nods. Their night watch is over. They walk back toward the fire as the other tribe members begin to stir. Smoke rises into the blue sky, a sign of life and renewed hope. Reth smiles slightly as he watches a young hunter tend to the morning fire. Under their leader's watch, the tribe begins a new day, filled with food and renewed hope.